Greetings, class. This is a quick recording to show you how to do this week's homework. Last week we were focused on just reading and taking notes. This week we're going to focus on reading, and while we're reading, really processing our thinking. And we're going to do that by using a graphic organizer. So if you find on your Google Classroom where it says Homework Graphic Organizer, and go ahead and open that up. You can type directly in this, or if you'd like a paper copy, I have some in my red folder in the classroom. First thing you have to decide is, are you reading fiction or nonfiction? It's going to be pretty easy because I have a book here. This one's Gary Soto book, The Afterlife. If you look on the corner, it says Soto FIC. This is fiction. Now, I could have been doing a different book. Like here, I have a biography for Gary Soto. If I look on the tag, it says Soto and it has some numbers. This is not fiction, it's nonfiction. There are other ones that are going to have numbers as well, like this one, which also has numbers. It's a poetry book. So either of these two books, I would want to do the second graphic organizer because it's nonfiction, then that would be easier. The first book, the best one to do would be the first one because it's fiction. So let's say I'm doing this one by Gary Soto. I'd have to type in the title of the book. You can actually just cover this up, and hold on, I need to grab my cord. All right, so now that I'm all plugged in, I'm going to type in the title of the book. I can actually type it in, erase where it says title of the book, and just put The Afterlife. Okay, I'm currently on page number, find what page you are. If you're finished with the book, put I'm finished, because I have a few of you who are finishing. But let's say I'm on page 77. This is important to me because if you're like only on page 10, some of these details are going to be really hard to find. By now, you should be about halfway through your book. So if you're not, you need to read a lot this week. Okay, it says draw or insert a picture that reflects the author's presentation of the setting. Well, my book's a little odd. The setting is actually a bathroom. In it, a boy named Chewy is getting ready for a dance, and something really bad happens to him. He gets stabbed in the bathroom. So I need to find a bathroom. I can do insert image. I could do a Google search and save it like I've done before, or I could try their search first and use right protected photos. So I'm just going to put bathroom floor. I kind of need a creepy bathroom floor. So those look really way too nice. That's pretty nice. Pretty nice. Well, that one has somebody laying down on it. I just don't really want to use that picture. It's actually kind of creeping me out, but it might be the best one. So I want a creepy but not too creepy bathroom floor picture. Eek, this is hard. Okay. Let's say I go with the one with the person laying down. Or, you know what, I like this one because this one is just like a bathroom floor and you can kind of see the edge. Oh, no, this is a public bathroom. Let's go with that one. I select it and I insert it into my, okay? Now it says fill in the boxes below with details from the book that give clues to the setting. Chewy is getting ready in the bathroom for his date. Notice I need to include my text evidence with the page number. This all happens within the first chapter. And so that's on page 9. So I'm going to put page 9. So I have one detail there. It's kind of creepy. So if I look, oh, it's on page 9. It's talking about this too. On page 7, it says bloody tracks. Bloody tracks that would follow him out of the restroom. Notice this is actually word for word what my book says about it, and that's on page 7. If it's a quote from the book, I'm going to add some quotations. Okay. Very good. And then I need to do one more. So I'm going to go ahead and skip to the next part where I do the same about a character. My character's name is Chewie. And I can find a picture of somebody I think would look like Chewie. I don't think I'll be able to find the exact one. But on page 1, right here, it says, when you're an ordinary looking guy. So fill in the box below with details from the book that give clues to the character. So on this one it says, when you're an ordinary looking guy. And that's on page 1. Most of your character stuff is going to be found in your first couple chapters. It says you have to dress nice. You've got to shower, smell clean, and brush your teeth. I stood in the restroom of the club. I started combing my hair over the sink. I was going to meet Rachel. I brought the comb back to my hair again to get it right. I said I liked his shoes. Imitation night. I was wearing a pair of black shoes from Payless. So I could say black shoes from Payless is my next detail, and that's on page 2. Okay, black shoes from Payless. All right, this is showing he doesn't have a lot of money, and that's on page 2. All right, notice how I'm finding some details from the text. So if it says it directly from the text, I'm going to make sure I add quotation marks. Once again, here I'm going to insert a picture. I can use search. I need a kind of ordinary looking, in it we can already tell he calls himself a, what does he call? He calls himself a nice senor, kind of GQ. So I know it's Gary Soto, so I'm probably looking for a Hispanic type picture, and I can add that in. Now, what if I was doing the nonfiction book? Okay, so let's say I have this one here. Instead of, I also needed to put your name of your book on here somewhere, but I also needed to do who. I might write a question. I might say, who is Gary Soto? Then I answer my question. He is a Mexican-American author from Fresno, California. He writes poetry, short stories, and other fiction. He is, I might want to find out how old he is. All right, so I'm writing this information that I learned. He uses the word, I am a Chicano, so I could even use that. And that's on page 11. It says, did you know Gary Soto prefers the term Chicano because it describes Mexican Americans who have a strong sense of identity? And so I might even use that in here. And that is my text evidence. That's on page 12. And the text evidence quote is, I am a Chicano. And that's on page 12. That's my text evidence. All right. So I could write some more if I wanted to, but what you're going to do is you're going to ask a question, find your answer, and give the text evidence that proves what you're saying is correct. Also, on page 14, it says, in addition to poetry, he also writes fiction for adults. So I'm going to write that as my text evidence because it proves that he writes poetry. In addition to poetry, he writes fiction All right, and that is page 14. Page 14. All right, so I need to do that for each one of these questions, right, and enter it in. Now, the big thing I want you to know is you don't have to do this and this, it's one or the other. You pick one graphic organizer, and they're going to stretch out and get a little bigger as you write in them, and that's okay. When you're done, you have a turn in button, press turn in. Okay, they're due on Friday. All right, thanks. Good luck. If you have questions, please come see me in advisory or before or after school. Thanks.